Have a hit at center ice. P.J. Rochford takes down Suffern's Dan Cohn, and Rochford's going to go for interference.
And they met with a very heavy collision at center ice, but P.J. will have to go to the bench. There you get a look at P.J. Rochford, of course, the quarterback of the Massena Red Raiders this past fall in football.
And first team All-Northern, I might add. So John Orlando on this power play now sends out Matt Kaprowitz along with R.C. Like. And up front, he goes with Mike Greenhut along with Dan Cohn and John Sullivan. Sullivan and Cohn, two of the leading scorers on this hockey team, somewhere in the vicinity of 25 points on the season. Like with a long shot off the Red Raider goal, held in by Sullivan. Feeds Greenhut. Greenhut is checked from behind. Now Dion behind the net with Sullivan. Greenhut steps in. Red Raiders control. 5:05 remaining. Racing to center. Josh Banberg. He moves in over the line. Is slowed up by the Suffern Mounties. Now Corey David feeds in front. Josh Banberg couldn't control the puck in his skates. And that allows John Sullivan back the other way. Sullivan moving in over the line. Sullivan gets around to Rosie. Centers in front and through the crease.
Oh my, that was a tricky one right there.
Red Raiders changing penalty killers here. 13 seconds remaining on the penalty. And 4:35 in our first period.
The way Sullivan was being checked on that, it's amazing he even got the pass off.
St. Joe's won the first game in this Massena Invitational High School Hockey Tournament in a shootout as they defeated Greece. Score was tied 3-3. They played 2 overtimes, still couldn't decide it, and finally went into a shootout, and the only goal was scored by St. Joe's in that shootout. Frank Joy in his own end. Now for Michael Point, 3-on-2. Red Raiders working over the line. And LaPointe, let's go, a wrist shot. Foot wide in the mark. Loffberg was checked out of his net. Now LaPointe working right in, but LaPointe was taken down by Matt Kaprowitz. Some of the Red Raider fans looking for a penalty. I don't think we're going to get one, though.
Well, LaPointe skating right in on net, and he did a good job of getting as far as he did without getting hauled down, finally going down. There you get a look at Les Pribble. Les has had quite a season, kind of like a off and on season. He's been in the hunt many a time out there for the Massena Red Raiders. Pretty good season out there for Les Pribble.
9 goals, 10 assists for 19 points for Les Pribble, according to our Cable 24 stats. Red Raiders staying with a line of LaPointe, Blaze, and Pribble out there. And off the draw at center ice, it's Mike Dion. Plays into the Suffern zone now. The Mounties back, it's Greenhut. Rolling the puck into Red Raiders zone. Rochford behind the net. Battling with Jim Clement. And an elbowing penalty coming up to Suffern. And it's going to go to Mike Greenhut for elbowing. There you get a look at Butch Martin, one of our officials for this hockey game. So the Red Raiders now with Ryan Kerwin, P.J. Rochford, Mike LaPointe, Les Pribble, and Adam Blaze out here on the power play. Suffern counter now with Jim Clement, along with John Sullivan, Matt Kaprowitz, and R.C. Lake. Penalty killing.
Now, usually you don't start seeing a physical contest such as this early in the hockey game. Usually the latter stage is the second period and the start of the third period, Chip. But tonight we've seen the bodies start flying around a little bit earlier than normal.
the jaw, Ryan Kerwin to Mike LaPointe. LaPointe now slowed up. Good play by Like as he takes LaPointe out of the play. This is Ryan Kerwin. Kerwin now for Adam Blaze. For Kerwin. Red Raiders. Now Adam Blaze moving in and takes his shot, but there's a Red Raider in the crease, I'm sure. And he'll move the face-off outside of the Suffern zone. Red Raiders, Jamie, on the power play here, trying to move the puck along and trying to get Suffern out of that box that they play as their defense when they're a man down. At that time, they played it a cross-ice pass, and Adam Blaze just had a little trouble teeing it up, but as it ended up, it wouldn't have mattered anyway because it was a Red Raider in the crease.
Well, you notice that Blaze gave it up on the first try. He didn't even decide to take it in because he did have trouble with it. He passed it off and they sat it up again. That's good playing, good smart playing by the Red Raiders right there.
2:35 to play here in our first period. Here's Ryan Kerwin, and a shot through a maze of legs.
Wow, Jason Converse did get a piece of that. He almost deflected it in.
This is Spanberg. Now for Kerwin. LaPointe, pass for Spanberg, but Josh Spanberg had a little trouble with a bouncing puck, and once again, Corey David pleading his case, but Butch Martin is quick to point out, you're in the crease. And once again, the faceoff's going back out. 2:17 remaining in our first period.
Well, you can play real close to the goal, but you can't be inside that little line that goes around there. There you get a look at Corey David, the senior, 6 foot, 200-pound senior, and he's had quite a season out there.
Corey David has picked up his 11th goal on the season in this hockey game. And we have an elbowing penalty coming up.
And I believe Josh Spanberg is going to go off for elbowing right here, Chip. And that is exactly who's going.
Meanwhile, Corey David behind the play having a little chat with R.C. Like, and along with Suffern's Dan Cohn.
Now, I think what happened was after Spanberg got the penalty, one of the players from Suffern waved at him as in bye-bye, and I guess that irritated a couple of Red Raider players.
Corey David, who's not going to back down from anybody, took exception, I guess. Just had some words.
No waving, I guess.
Yeah. So Suffern on the power play. Now for another minute 8, moving it over the line. Cohn showing good speed. Dan Cohn, one of the top point getters on this Suffern team, also somewhere around 25 points on the season so far. Red Raiders trying to kill off a penalty, controlling. B.J. Rochford trying to feed in front, but nobody was there. Now Mike Greenhut. Greenhut for Cohn, for Sullivan, too far for him. Light will have to go back and check that. It's Kaplowitz will have to go back in his own zone. He's out there with R.C. Lake at the points on this power play. Now it's Jim Clement moving it over the line. He's got Sullivan breaking to the net. Ooh, taken down on the play. Here's Sullivan turning. Justin White was looking for the puck, but the puck was not on net. We're under a minute to play, first period. Red Raiders with 14 seconds remaining on their penalty. Just send the puck into the Suffern zone as they change on the fly. We are down to 45 seconds in our first period. Center ice. Adam Blaze gets around one check. But can't do anything with the puck. Now Blaze comes up with it once again. Adam Blaze, nice pass. Les Cribble in. But he was in too deep that time. And Lockford made the save. Suffern come away. It's Clement with 20 seconds remaining in the period. Losing. Now Les Cribble. For Mike LaPointe. Ooh, LaPointe is knocked down. LaPointe has the puck once again. Feeds off the side of the net. Lockford can't find it. LaPointe has it. Now for Dion. A shot. They score!
And I don't know whether they are going to wave it off. They may wave it off. We'll have to wait and see. They do. They wave it off, and I believe it's because Pribble was inside the crease.
You're right.
I was keeping an eye on Les Pribble because after the shot was taken to see if he might have deflected it in, and the goal is being waved off. Pribble was inside the crease.
Go again, look
Here
at
it is again. Watch it again. Watch where Purple is.
He must have just barely been in the crease, too.
Les just skated backwards. He was just barely over the line when that shot was let go. A tough break for the Red Raiders right there. And I really, to tell you the truth, Chip, I don't think Les Purple knew where he was exactly.
Right, he was just moving towards the net to create the screen, but got a little bit too close to the net. Had his skates inside the crease, and the goal was disallowed. So we have played one in our second game of this Massena High School Invitational Hockey Tournament, with the Massena Central Red Raiders leading after a period by a goal, 1-0. Welcome back to the Massena Arena. Chip Chapman along with Jamie Davis, as we have played one period of play so far in the second game of the Massena Invitational High School Hockey Tournament. And our score, there you see our score, 1-0. Massena over Suffern. And here to recap that first period, Jamie Davis.
Well, you take a look at that first period of play, and it was a rough and tumble one, I might add, Chip. But the first goal of the game, coming with, or for Massena, I should say, Corey David getting the goal, Josh Spanberg on the assist, and Mike Dion also getting assist on that first goal by Corey David. So that just proves that the Massena Red Raiders, even though they've jostled their lines, Chip, it still works. And I guess that's the best way to describe it.
The Red Raiders, for Corey David, he picked up his 11th goal on the season to go along with 11 assists now for a total of 22 points on the year. Shots on goal were very indicative of how that period was. The Red Raiders had the territorial ice advantage in that first period.
While the Massena Red Raiders had 10 shots on goal in comparison to Suffern's 2, and they had a couple of power plays out there as well. They had a couple of real excellent chances, one of them being Les Pribble when he went in on net. He was just, well, almost too close to the net to take the shot, and he just couldn't get it off. Of course, that last goal was waved off, and Les Pribble was backing up, and he backed up to the point, I don't think he really knew where he was, Chip. He kind of backed up and just was kind of watching the play develop, and then it's one of these deals where the whistle blows and you look down and say, oh gosh, I shouldn't be standing here. But I don't think he really exactly knew where he was out there in front of that net. He knew he was close, but he didn't know whether he was in the crease or not.
One point to look for as this game goes on here in this hockey game is, one thing I noticed from Suffern in that first period is Dan Cohn, one of their top hockey players, likes to stay around the blue line or whatnot, a la Mario Lemieux. So the Red Raider defense are going to have to watch and be cognizant that he is out there and possibly behind him at times, because Suffern may want to spring him on the home run pass.
Well, I'll tell you, if they do, you're going to see an instant, I think, 2-on-1 develop. I think this is what they're trying to set up right there, is a quick 2-on-1. Massena is a very, very quick team. They've been that way all season long. After every game during every game that we've seen this season, they've been able to get out and get back very quickly. I guess this is one of the only ways to stop that, is to get somebody so far ahead of the play that they can't catch up. And I guess that's probably the best way to do it.
We'll be back with more high school hockey action right after this. You're watching Edwards Production Sports.
Do you have the winter blues? Becoming a couch potato? Well, sit no more. Enjoy the live entertainment and great company at the Hotel Netto, 43 Andrew Street in Massena. On Friday and Saturday, boogie to the sounds of nightlife from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. Tuesday nights at 7:30, it's Hardy's Pool Tournament. There's great things happening, great company, and, of course, great beverages at the Hotel Netto, 43 Andrew Street, Massena.
With Jamie Davis, I'm Chip Chapman, welcoming you back to the Massena Arena, where the teams are back on the ice for second period hockey action. Once again, the score in that first game, Jamie, of tonight's hockey game was St. Joe's advancing to the finals of this Massena Invitational High School Hockey Tournament with a shootout win over Greece.
Well, I'll tell you, it was an excellent game. The goaltending in that game was phenomenal for both teams. And I'll tell you, St. Joe's, they started slow. Greece got off to a 3-1 lead right off the bat, but they came hustling right on back. In fact, with about 1 second left to play in the third period, they had a chance to win the game 4-3. But the shot was right on net, and the save was made, and they had to go into overtime, and they went into 2 overtimes, and finally it came right down to a shootout, which, I don't know, the fans are kind of 50-50 on that, and I guess I am too. I just think you should keep right on playing until it's finally decided.
Well, that could be midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning before we would be leaving here.
Yes, right.
There you get a look at the Red Raider bench. Head coach Tim Long.
He's had quite a season down there. I think Coach Tim Long has got to be very happy with this season. They have played what you could say some prime cuts of beef as far as teams are concerned this season. They have had their share of playing some top teams and some tough teams, and even in Division I, Canton and Potsdam have been no walk in the park for them this season in regular league play, Jeff.
They've been pretty good battles all season long, and we're not far away now from playoff time. So we've started second period action. This is Josh Spanberg for the Red Raiders. Now Frank Joy. Red Raiders controlling the puck. Spanberg trying to feed behind the net, but it was broken up by Mike Greenhut, but he can't clear. Red Raiders feed in front, nobody there. Ryan Kerwin holding in at the point, directs one towards the net, but just off the mark. This is Frank Joy. Now Spanberg in the face-off circle, winding. That one went off the leg. One time now by Joy, save made, and here comes Suffern breaking out. Nice pass. Moving it over the line, it's Aaron Linsenberg, but he's ridden off the play by Frank Joy, and Suffern score. Justin White has trouble clearing the puck, and just like that, Suffern have tied this hockey game.
Well, I'll tell you something right here. White tried to clear it, and he may be hurt. We'll have to wait and see. There he goes. He gets up. I think he's more disgusted with himself than anything else. And in just a minute, we'll get a chance to take a look at that. But I'll tell you something. Everybody's down consoling Justin White and saying, hey, don't worry about it. Here it is again. He tried to clear it and missed it.
Greenhut gets the goal at the 43-second mark.
Here it is again, Chip.
At the 47-second mark, Greenhut gets the goal. And on our last telecast, we saw the Red Raider goaltending having a little trouble. And it continues here with Justin White having a little trouble moving the puck out from in front of his own net. Suffern are able to tie this hockey game at 1-1. Now it's Mike LaPointe for P.J. Rochford. Center ice area. Les Pribble spun around by Sullivan. Pribble getting into it with Sullivan a little bit. Mounties play at the center, but Mike Dion breaks up a pass there. Pribble now for Seth Service. Service feeds LaPointe, centers in front, and the Red Raiders go back out in front, 2-1.
Well, just like that, the Red Raiders are on top again by a goal. And I'll tell you, this Red Raider team, when you least expect it, there they are.
Good passing that time. And we'll get a look at it right here. Seth Service. Now to LaPointe, just centers it in front, and Les Pribble is there. He got behind the defenseman, and Pribble directed it.
You know, LaPointe didn't take a hard shot at this. Look at this. He just kind of kept it low on the ice.
And you know, I always have to have the hardest shot out there. You just have to be accurate. And LaPointe put it on net. 142. Red Raiders in front again. Loose. Oh, and Seth Service backhander just went wide of the mark. Ryan Kerwin holds in. Behind the net now, R.C. Light for Suffern, trying to clear. Red Raiders. Now Matt Kaplowitz trying to clear. Held in. This is O'Shea into the slot. Service. Nice job putting it from his skate onto his stick. But his shot went wide of the Suffern goal.
Red Raiders are passing the puck around very, very nicely right now.
This line is not a good shift here, Jamie. Red Raiders can't hold the puck in. They'll have to tag up at center. Ryan Kerwin sends back into the Suffern zone. The Mounties trying to clear. They finally do. And icing will be called. 12-12 remaining here in our second period. We'll be back right after this.
ET Sports and high school hockey are number one.
So the Red Raiders sending out Scott Service. along with Joe Weisskopf, Keith McLean, P.J. Rochford, Mike Dion. Suffern now play to center ice. This is Greenhut, goes off his skate. Back in his own zone. It's Walkhalter trying to control the puck. Keith McLean going after it. It's loose. Ooh, McLean is knocked down on the fight. Here comes Suffern. 2-on-2. Linsenberg along with Greenhut. But nothing really develops there. Now back Scott Service. Couldn't control the puck. And the Mounties move it to center. P.J. Rochford intercepts. Walkhalter plays to the Red Raider line.
Both teams appearing as if they want to change or something here.
They're just playing
and that is exactly what they're doing.
11:15 remaining here in our second period. Great to have you along with us here on Cable 24, Edwards Production Sports, for high school hockey action. The Massena Invitational High School Hockey Tournament is what we are featuring this weekend. And the winner of this game will take on St. Joseph's of Buffalo. Now this is Josh Spanberg. End-to-end, Spanberg winds and shoots. It goes off the stick of R.C. Like. Here's a centering attempt in front. Nobody there for the Red Raiders. It's loose. Corey David couldn't find the puck in his skates. Fortunately for Suffern, as goaltender Joe Lofberg was down. Like trying to dump it. Can't. Red Raiders. Jason Converse over skates. Spanberg tries to get around Sullivan and can't. And Suffern will play into the Red Raider zone. Ryan Kerwin. Kerwin checked into the boards by John Sullivan. Sullivan trying to feed it in front. John Sullivan was a member of the Empire States last season. Now playing to center ice. Sullivan knocks the puck down. This is Dan Cohn. Sends into the Red Raider zone, but icing is going to be called against Suffern.
Well, Chip, we've seen some quick end-to-end action here as you take a look at our score on the Club 37 scoreboard. 2-1 in favor of the Massena Red Raiders. If you're just joining us, we're in the second period of play with 9:53 remaining. And Chip, we've seen some rough and tumble play out there in this game. A lot of bodies being thrown around.
So far, we have face-off coming to the right of Lofberg. Played behind Suffern goal. Trying to work out of his own end. This time was Kaprowitz, but Matt Kaprowitz was spun around. Now Mike Dion trying to hold in, he can't. Here's Dan Cohn. Cohn moving in. Cohn feeds in front, and a good play by the Red Raider defense is Jim Flement.
Just excellent play by the Red Raiders getting back. And Mike Dion, what a play by Mike Dion.
Now Rochford at the other end, let's go a shot. Lofberg makes the easy blocker save on that. Now Cohn. Cohn moving in over the line, looked for Flement, and as he did, he lost control of the puck. And we have a penalty coming up to the Red Raiders.
Well, I don't know what that's going to be for. It might be for boarding right there. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
P.J. Rochford going for interference is the call. And
watch this once again. Watch Dion come in here.
Nice pass to Flement, and look at that. Mike Dion, a beautiful sprawling play.
Sprawling save, yes, exactly right, Chip, and it was a big one, too.
And then we get a look at the penalty right there.
And PJ will go to the box for the second time tonight.
And from the draw, Suffern on the power play. Here's a shot by Like. That goes wide of the net. Suffern going with R.C. Like on the power play, along with Matt Kaprowitz. Then up front, well, we have Josh Spanberg on a break. Spanberg moving in, shoots, he scores! Josh Spanberg.
Well, he's had an outstanding season, Chip, and he is quite the skater. And right there is probably the most picturesque goal you're going to see. 20 goals on the season.
21 now.
21 now. 24 assists. There it is once again. Man, oh man.
And that was a shorthanded goal.
And a short-handed goal. That's with PJ in a box. Here it is once again. Look at this. Textbook goal.
Josh Vanberg didn't make any mistake putting it upstairs. Unassisted at 6-12. So the Red Raiders pick up a short-handed goal. And the Red Raiders, who have been killing penalties at around probably the 90% range, have only allowed, I believe, 7 on the season, have just picked up a short-handed goal as they now lead 3-1. Corey David puts Suffern's Matt Kaprowitz on the seat of his pants with a heavy check. Now David behind the net. Oh, he is sandwiched, but Corey David comes away with a puck. That gets the crowd going in the Suffern zone. But Suffern break out. 25 seconds remaining on their power play. But moving it on over the line, that time was Mike Greenhut, and he couldn't do anything with a puck. Frank Joy will send the length of the ice. 13 seconds left on the penalty. Les Pribble moves in. Pribble spun around, knocked off the puck. Here come the Mounties. It's John Sullivan. Sullivan will flip the puck into the Red Raider zone. Going after it there is Jim Clement. Now Adam Blaze from Massena to center. PJ Rochford. It's got Pribble going to the net, but his pass for Pribble was too high for the Red Raider forward to handle. Suffern send the length of the ice down to 7:15 in our second period. Mike LaPointe can't catch up to that shot, to that pass, I should say. Directed into the Red Raider zone by Clement. Behind the net, White leaves for Dion. DeRosie, nice breakout pass for Blaze. Too far for Pribble. Icing is waved off. Red Raiders here changing on the fly. Frank Joy will skate back in his own zone, and Suffern will be called for icing.
Notice that Suffern is trying to get something going by clearing the puck in and not trying to take it in over the line themselves. They're just clearing it into the corner, hoping for the good bounce off the boards and be able to get something set up. And they've been doing that for about half the period now. Watch this once again. Here's Corey David, and boom! How are you? Wow.
From the draw, Lofberg makes a save. Puck is cleared to center. Now Frank Joy for Jamie Courier. Courier working in over the line, broken up. Mounties back at center. Now it's Tim O'Shea from Massena for Frank Joy. Ryan Kerwin. Seth Service. Service has Courier going to the net. Tries to feed Jamie Courier, but the pass was behind the Red Raider forward. Ryan Kerwin once again. Plays to the Suffern line. Red Raiders shoot the puck right back into the Suffern zone. And 6 minutes remaining here in our second period. Jamie Courier working in over the line. He overskates the puck. It got tied up in the referee's skates. Ryan Kerwin. Kerwin with a long shot. Lofberg plays it off his shoulder. Now behind the net, Service. Service feeds into the slot area. Nice play by Mike Dion to hold the puck in at the point. Now Tim O'Shea for Rochford. Service with a puck. Service trying to move around the Suffern defenseman, but good play by Suffern as they take him out of the play. Now it's Aaron Linsenberg playing into the Red Raider zone. Here's Mike Dion for Scott. Service. Nice pass for Seth Service. Now Sullivan playing off the glass and back out to center. We have 5 minutes remaining here in our second period. Red Raiders leading by the score of 3-1. Keith McLean poking at the puck. It rolls back into the Massena zone. Justin White plays into the corner, and Mike Dion has it there. The senior defenseman playing the center. Dion has it back once again. Broken up, and Suffern's Mike Greenhut, senior forward, playing it back into the Massena zone. Dion along the boards, gives the puck right to Cone, into the slot. Sullivan a shot. And Justin White with his best save of the hockey game so far. Now Massena back. It's Weiskopf for Scott's service. Winding and shooting, and that one goes off the leg of Wachalter and into the corner. Corey David along the boards for Frank Joy. His shot deflects off the stick of Cone and into the corner. Corey David one-hands it to the point. Ryan Kerwin trying to stick handle around a check, goes to the backhand, and Joe Lofberg makes the save and covers up. 3:53 remaining, second period. We'll be back right after this.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And Bob Post has been there for over 30 years, serving the people of Massena with complete auto, home, and life insurance coverage. If you're not satisfied with your insurance situation, call Bob Post at 764-0189. Let him give you a quote and see the advantages that State Farm can offer you.
From the draw, Suffern control, roll the puck to center. Frank Joy now for Ryan Kerwin. Josh Spanberg. Spanberg slowed up by Kaplowitz, who makes a nice hit. Center ice area, Ryan Kerwin. Tied up. Now Massena back. Josh Spanberg trying to play in front of the net, but it goes off the leg. Spanberg with a big hit. And here comes Suffern. It's Linsenberger in over the line. Aaron Linsenberg puts on the brakes. Plays into the corner. This is Jim Clement. And we have a player down. And a penalty coming up to Ryan Kerwin of the Massena Central Red Raiders.
Aaron Linsenberg on that one went down hard, but he's able to get off the ice.
So Ryan Kerwin, Jamie, who was injured his shoulder in the St. Francis game and sat out the Canton game. And the remainder of the St. Francis game back in the lineup. Here's a shot from the draw by Sullivan, and that went off the side of the Red Raider goal. Red Raiders control. Adam Blaze. Blaze, poke checked off his stick at the Suffern blue line. Down to 2:55 in our second period. Red Raiders enjoying a 2-goal lead here. And they have a minute 10 remaining on their penalty. This is Mike Lapointe. Lapointe has it knocked off his stick. Now he feeds in front, nobody there. Suffern will clear out to center ice. In talking to John Orlando before the game, Jamie, he was talking about this has been a nightmare so far this season for his club. They normally practice about 8 hours a week, and the facility that they have is like 4 buildings hooked together, I understand. It's like a health club and a couple of skating rinks. Well, there was a fire earlier in the season, I believe at the health club, and it carried over into the rink, and it knocked the rink out of use. They could not use it. So you have about 100 teams down in that area trying to use this ice. It's just almost impossible to get ice time. And they now have to travel about 2.5 hours. Ooh, here's a nice pad save by Justin White. Suffern have to travel about 2.5 hours just to get practice time right now.
I was going to say, you have that many teams trying to practice, and you basically just about get dressed and you have to undress again.
Yes, right.
to go out there.
So this has been very trying times for Suffern High School, and I guess they played 4 games last week just to try to make up some of the games in which they lost. But that was one of the things John Orlando was concerned with coming up here is conditioning, because his kids have just not had a whole lot of a chance to practice as much as he would like them to have. And one thing he keys on is conditioning, and that's been something that they have not had an opportunity to do a whole lot of lately. Down to a minute 5 in our second period. Red Raiders leading by 2. Here comes Suffern. Center, Linsenberg, right on the stick of Clement. Clement feeds in front. It gets right on the stick of Linsenberg, and he directed it towards the net, but Adam Blaze was there to intercept. Center ice, Adam Blaze. He's got Lapointe breaking to the net. Adam Blaze went to take the shot. It went off the edge of his blade. Now R.C. Light. Feeds ahead for Aaron Linsenberg. Suffern just wrapped the puck out to center. P.J. Rochford. Now Mike Lapointe with 25 seconds remaining. Oh, Lapointe feeding for Adam Blaze, and it just went off the Red Raiders player's stick. Now Blaze tries to feed in front. Tim O'Shea just came out on the ice. Red Raiders have to regroup at center. 9 seconds remaining in our second period. Red Raiders bounce a puck towards the net. Lofberg has it underneath them, and we'll get a face-off coming with just 1 second now remaining here.
I think they'll be able to just touch the puck, and that'll pretty well do it for the second period. There you see our score. The Red Raiders ahead by a score of 3-1. And I don't know, Chip, you know, both teams look rather lackluster out there the last 4 or 5 minutes. Like you said, you and I talked while we were in commercial, all the play was between the blue lines.
Yeah, and that's where a lot of the second period was played, actually. Just time to basically get a shot on goal if you're Tim O'Shea, and from the draw, that does not develop. Now after the whistle, we get Josh Spanberg mixing it up with R.C. Like, but the referees are quick to break that up. We'll get the shots on goal here. Suffern had 4. They have 6 after 2 periods. They had 10 shots on goal in that second period for a 2-period total of 20. Massena Arena, you're watching the Massena. Welcome back to the Massena Arena. Chip Chapman along with Jamie Davis. We have played 2 periods with our score. Massena Central Red Raiders leading by a score of 3-1 over Suffern. Here to recap that second period, Jamie Davis.
Oh, that's me. Hey. Well, in the second period of play, Suffern ended up with a goal. He tied it up at 1-1. Greenhunt unassisted at 47 seconds. And then the Red Raiders come storming back once again. It was just a few seconds later at the 1:42 mark as Les Pribble put in the goal, and Lapointe ended up getting the assist. Then Josh Spanberg came back at 6:11 and scored unassisted. So the Massena Red Raiders have the lead by a score of 3-1, Chip.
The scoring summary in the game so far for the Red Raiders is Corey David picking up goal number 11 on the season for Corey David. Josh Spanberg has a goal and an assist. For Spanberg, it's his 21st goal of the season. Mike Dion has an assist in this game. Les Pribble has scored his 10th goal on the season, and Mike Lapointe has picked up an assist. Red Raiders leading after 2, 3-1. Really, the play in that second period, Jamie, a lot of it was between the blue lines.
It certainly was, but the funny thing was, every time one team got set up for something, somebody would come along, check them out of the play, and just disturb the whole routine, I guess is the best way you can describe it.
When we return, we'll have the play-by-play of tonight's third period. We'll be back right after this. You're watching Cable 24, Edwards Production Sports.
Looking for a good time? Then join the Massena Springs Tavern on Thursday evenings for karaoke with Tim. And on Friday and Saturday, dance to the sounds of the live bands. Entertainment 9:45 until 1:45. After work specials Monday through Friday 4 to 7 and on Sundays 4 to 6. Great beverage prices and a good time. That's what makes the Massena Springs Tavern the place to go. Located on the corner of Hatfield and Main Street in Massena.
Massena Central Red Raiders and the Suffern Mounties about ready for third period action in the first round of the Massena High School Invitational Hockey Tournament. The first game tonight won by a shootout by St. Joseph's of Buffalo over Greece. So St. Joseph's advance into tomorrow afternoon's championship game, which I believe starts somewhere in the vicinity of 3:30. And from center ice, Spanberg going after the loose puck. Josh Spanberg gets away from Walkhalter. Spanberg now for Converse. Jason Converse. Spanberg to the point. Frank Joy. Frank Joy trying to get away from a check. Spanberg once again. Josh Spanberg, nice move. Spanberg still with a puck. Spanberg plays across, but nobody there for the Red Raiders. And Greenhut sends back Linsenberg. Linsenberg centers in front. Oh, and it's deflected just wide of the mark off the stick of Jared Margulies. Margulies with a nice tip attempt in front.
I was just going to say, Chip, I think we can watch that Suffern is going to turn the volume up just a little bit right here in this third period, being down 2 goals.
as you said, being down 2 and probably watch for the breakout pass a little bit more in this third period if they can. John Sullivan on the draw. Sent into the Red Raiders zone. Now the Red Raiders clear. Adam Blaze behind the net, Mike LaPointe. LaPointe back for Blaze. Blaze is being checked by Clement. This will allow Suffern to clear. Sullivan now for Cone. Cone trying to push Rochford off the puck. Now Dion for Pribble. Les Pribble spun around. P.J. Rochford slides behind the net. Now Pribble, he loses his stick as he was trying to check Kaplowitz on the play. Now Sullivan shoots into the Red Raiders zone. 13:20 to play, third period. 3-1, Red Raiders in the lead.
And once again, we're seeing that style of play that we saw about the middle of that last period, Chip. Just when one team gets something going, along comes a check and just ruins it.
Here's Seth Service now working in against Kaplowitz, but Kaplowitz slides the puck into the corner. Service now with a puck as Kaplowitz lost his stick. Seth Service had a man, Tim O'Shea, in front. Here's a deflection try, just wide. Red Raiders tried to feed. It goes off the net. Now Kaplowitz hits a teammate in the skate.
Excuse me, Chip. Courier just getting a piece of that right there. He almost deflected it in.
Joe Lofberg plays along the boards for Suffern, but not out. Finally, the Mounties play at the center. And Frank Joy for Ryan Kerwin. Headmans for O'Shea. Good play by R.C. Like, who rides the Red Raider forward out of the play, allowing the Mounties to come to center. This is Kaplowitz in over the line. Knocked down by Red Raider captain Frank Joy. A good play by the Red Raider defenseman. Neither team able to mount much serious offensive pressure here. Now Tim O'Shea moving in. O'Shea eludes a check, rolls it behind the net. Scott Service. Now Weiskopf going in to help out. Joe Weiskopf feeds in front, but nobody there for the Red Raiders. Now joining the play, Heath McLean. McLean centers in front. That's broken up off the stick. Here's a shot. Lofberg the save. P.J. Rochford let it go. Jamie, I don't think Lofberg had much problem with that shot as there was nobody in front screening.
No screening at all going on out there. He had clear view of that puck when it came in. Red Raiders lead by a score of 3-1. If you've just joined us, we're in the third period of play. 11:37 remaining on the Club 37 scoreboard. We're happy to have you along here with us on Edwards Production Sports, and we'll be back here again tomorrow live to give you continued coverage of the Massena Hockey Tournament. Jim?
From the draw, race for the puck. Now at center ice is Margulies, but he lost the puck for Suffern. Back come the Red Raiders, 2-on-1. Heath McLean, winding in. McLean rips that shot wide of the mark. Lofberg was out cutting down the angle. Now back 2-on-1. Linsenberg feeds in front, and a backhander by Margulies, but he didn't get much on the shot. So, action is rather boring for a while, then all of a sudden you see a couple of end-to-end spurts, Jamie.
Really, that's exactly the way it's been going. It's come in spurts here.
Red Raiders now losing the puck. It's held in. Linsenberg feeds across ice. This is Greenhut going after it. Into the corner. Margulies takes his man out of the play. Suffern tried to feed it, but it goes off the skate of Joe Weiskopf of Massena.
Mike Greenhunt was looking for his second of the game right there.
Greenhunt with the only goal in his hockey game so far for the Suffern Mounties. They trail by 2. We have 10 minutes and 30 seconds remaining here in our third period. Now at the blue line, Rochford knocks down Clement. At the Suffern blue line, here come the Mounties. It's Clement racing down the left wing, and P.J. Rochford steps up, and the senior defenseman Takes the Suffern player out. Now Sullivan alone in front momentarily. Rochford skated in. I think Jamian broke that play up.
Good play by P.J. Rochford right there. You're right, Chip.
Rochford playing without his right glove as he had it knocked off. Rather dangerous play. Rochford will go to the bench now. Held in at the point. Ryan Kerwin shot. The save made and the rebound. R.C. Like, who's played a pretty good game here on defense for Suffern, knocked the puck away from the Massena forward, coming toward the Suffern net. Ryan Kerwin dumps the puck. Spanberg skating to the bench. We're under 10 minutes in our hockey game. Red Raiders still leading 3-1. Ryan Kerwin for Joy. Now Heath McLean. This is Corey David. A back pass was behind Mike LaPointe. Cone puts the puck right on the stick of Adam Blaze, but he lost it. Cone. Dan Cone spun around. Dan Cone. I believe they call it a Rockland County All-Star 1 year ago. They only picked one All-Star team, and all 5 players on that All-Star team last year were from this Suffern hockey team. With Cone and Sullivan being 2 of those members. Now at center ice, this is Adam Feinblum. Feinblum had his shot sticked away by Rochford. Feinblum with it once again, trying to feed in front. It's on the side of the Red Raider net, and that's where the play will stop. 8:24 remaining. Third period, Red Raiders leading by 2.
Stop into Whalen Insurance Agency, the family-owned business in Massena, established in 1916. John Whalen is an independent insurance agent who deals with many insurance companies to fit your insurance needs. Call Whalen Insurance today at 769-2486 or visit them at 90 Main Street in Massena.
Red Raiders controlling in their own zone. They'll play it off the glass, out to center. Now Mike Dion. Dion fanned on his original pass. Now Mike LaPointe feeding Adam Blaze. Now it's Dion at center. Dion once again now for Pribble. Les Pribble. Working in, Pribble. Around the net, tried to play it back to the point. Held in at the line by Rochford. Now Blaze to the side of the net. It's right out in front. It's loose. And Suffern, good play by Dion to hold the puck in. Playing towards the net for Pribble, but it's behind him. Suffern are able to clear.
Les Pribble of the Red Raiders has been drawing quite a crowd in front of that net right now.
Here's a long shot. Lofberg directs into the corner. This is Seth's service. Can't do anything with the puck. Out to center ice. It's Mike Greenhut. A bouncing shot.
Ooh, and that took a pretty quick move off the ice right there.
I'm not sure if Justin White was partially screened by his defenseman, but now moving in front. Here's a shot by Aaron Linsenberg. We have a penalty coming up. Interference is going to be called to Ryan Kerwin, and that will put Suffern on the power play. As they trail in this hockey game, 3-1 with 6 minutes and 52 seconds remaining in our third period.
Ryan Kerwin picking up his second penalty of the game right there. You got to look at Coach Tim Long along the bench there.
So Kerwin goes for interference. 8:08 the time of the penalty. So John Orlando once again has out R.C. Lake along with Matt Kaprowitz at the points, and then up front it's Mike Greenhut along with Dan Cone and John Sullivan.
This has been the probably the most productive line that Suffern's had out there tonight. They've had some excellent opportunities, and of course Greenhut with the lone Suffern goal.
Now Red Raiders holding in at the point, Corey David. It's David Spanberg Joy, and DeRosie, the penalty killers for the Red Raiders. 40 seconds left on the Massena penalty. Now they're changing penalty killers. Dan Cohen trying to get around Mike LaPointe, as the Red Raiders have some fresh legs out here on this, killing off this penalty. They have one shorthanded goal to their credit tonight, and that's the goal by Josh Spanberg. Down to 18 seconds in our hockey game, or check that in our penalty to Massena's Ryan Kerwin. Now R.C. Like. Like will move it to center. Like in over the line. Still with a puck drop pass, but right on the stick of Mike LaPointe. LaPointe tried to go by the boards. That was stopped. Now it's Rochford. 5:15 remaining in our third period. Red Raiders have successfully killed off their penalty. Adam Blaze moving in. Blaze, let's go a shot. Fires it wide of the mark.
We got a penalty coming up to Suffern. It happened down at the other end. We'll have to see what it is.
High sticking is the call. We'll wait to see who's going to pick up the penalty. While we have this chance, it'll allow us to tell you that this has been an Edwards production, and any rebroadcast, reproduction, or retransmission of this game without the express written consent of Edwards Productions is strictly prohibited. Our cameramen for this telecast have been Mr. Gary Edwards and Mr. Chris Tabor. And this telecast has been produced and directed by Chad Edwards. I want to thank John Orlando, the head coach of Suffern, for all of his information that he passed along to me. And we have a timeout taken by Suffern with 5:02 remaining.
I'd like to thank all of the coaches for their help,
Throughout
their
the
cooperation,
season,
throughout the season. All of the visiting coaches and teams that they've helped us out very much. We appreciate it very, very much.
So with timeout on the ice, we'll take timeout. We'll be back after this.
Portions of this broadcast are brought to you by TVI Warehouse, reminding bowlers to watch the TVI Monthly Bowling Show each month on TV 24 and find out how you can win great prizes and money by qualifying each month on TVI's Monthly Bowling Show.
Welcome back to the Massena Arena. Once again, recapping for the Massena Central Red Raiders the scoring summary in this game, as it is now at 3-1. Corey David has a goal, his 11th. Josh Bamberg has picked up a shorthanded goal in this game. For Josh Bamberg now, he's got 21 goals on the season. He also has picked up an assist in this game. Mike Dion has picked up an assist in this game. Les Pribble has the third Red Raider goal. For Les Pribble, it's his 10th on the season. And Mike LaPointe has added an assist. And for Suffern, their lone goal has been scored by Mike Greenhut.
And Mike has taken a little stroll to the penalty box here for high sticking.
So now we'll watch the Red Raiders on the power play for another minute and a half. We are under 5 minutes remaining here to play in our game. Mike LaPointe out there along with Josh Spanberg. Corey David as the Red Raiders crisscrossing at center. Jason Converse. Spanberg plays the puck back to the point, and Rochford is unable to hold the puck in. So the Red Raiders will have to regroup at center. Suffern going with a penalty killing unit here of Flement, along with Like, Sullivan, and Margulies.
The clock is
Spanberg.
The clock is definitely not on Suffern's side right now with 4:17 remaining.
Spanberg feeding for Rochford. He takes a shot. Ooh, that went off of Margulies' ankle. Knocked down. Let's see, what do we have? We got penalties called?
Well, I don't know.
Slashing possibly. Corey high sticking. And it's going to go to R.C. Like of Suffern. Ooh, and this puts the Mounties in a deep hole as they trail by 2. And the Red Raiders with an excellent opportunity to add to their 2-goal lead here, Jamie.
It certainly does. The Red Raiders with a golden opportunity to, well, basically put this one out of sight right now, even with 4:09 remaining. There's only 37 seconds left in one penalty. Here's the announcement.
Interference, they call. 10:31. The time of the penalty. So Spanberg now moving in. Josh Spanberg tries a feed for Seth Service. That was broken up. Red Raiders here on the power play have put this, what was the first line of LaPointe, Service, and Spanberg back out together here. Spanberg. Back for Kerwin. Kerwin tries a feed in front. Good play by Sullivan, the defender, as John Sullivan moved back and intercepted that intended pass for Seth Service, and maybe we can get a look at that again, and you'll see a fine play by penalty killer John Sullivan.
Seth Service was skating around in front of the net. Here they go to set it up.
Now Sullivan is the top man. There you see him. Now watch Sullivan drop back down. Boom, right there. Move back into position and intercepted that intended pass for Seth Service. Good job by the Suffern penalty killer.
Service, 2 or 3 opportunities right there. First, Kerwin tried to get one into him, and then LaPointe tried to get one into him, and just Seth was drawing a crowd in there.
Red Raiders, for the most part, Jamie, on the power plays tonight, just have not seemed to be real brisk and sharp with their passes.
Well, you know, you get a team that skates a little bit differently and does things a little bit differently, and find yourself off your game real quick after that.
So behind the net, controlling the puck, it's Mike LaPointe. One man is back out, so Suffern only down by one man now for another 46 seconds. Now this is Frank Joy. Joy winding and shooting, and Lofberg kicks that out. And Suffern clears the rebound. Down to 3:12 in our hockey game and 32 seconds left on the Red Raider power play. Seth Service moves in, takes a shot, and it was blocked in front of the net. Josh Spanberg tries to feed in front, deflects off a stick. 19 seconds left on the Red Raider power play. Spanberg, now Joy one-times it. And Joe Lofberg steers that shot out of play, in credit to Suffern defense as they tie up the Red Raider forwards in front, not allowing them to create a screen in front. Here we get a look at it again.
Well, look at this last flurry. Here's Spanberg. He tries to set up Frank Joy, and Frank lets it go from the point, but another good save.
And Jim Flement was keeping the Red Raider forward from out in front of the net, and that allowed Lofberg to see the shot, and he just deflected it out of play.
Good job by Suffern. There's only 10 seconds left in the penalty.
Off the draw, Red Raiders controlling. Scott Service. Now for Weiskopf. This is P.J. Rochford. Now Weiskopf behind the net. The give and go doesn't work. Scott Service now for Rochford. His shot is blocked. Oh, possible breakout, but Dan Cohn could not feed R.C. Like, who was behind the Red Raider defense. 2:25 remaining here in our third period. Red Raiders still leading by 2, and now we have a penalty coming up. Hooking is the call to Massena.
And we'll have to wait and see who's going to go for that. And
Joe Weiskopf.
It's Joe Weiskopf who's going to go over. You're right, Chip. 2:19 remaining. Well, Suffern has a golden opportunity right here to get right back in it again. They're down by 2 goals, and if anything, Chip, with 2:19 remaining in the period, they're going to have to somehow take advantage of this right here, I would think.
So Weiskopf goes for hooking, and Suffern on the power play. And this is Jim Flement with a long shot. Puck rolls all the way out to center. Suffern will have to tag up at the blue line. And Massena clear the length of the ice. We're under 2 minutes in our hockey game, and Massena leading by 2. They have to kill off a penalty for another minute. The Massena Central Red Raiders do. That is. Now Margulies behind the net. Margulies out there with Like, Sullivan, and Kaprowitz. And you talk about not being able to practice a whole lot and whatnot, and you saw a point here as Suffern looking sloppy in their own zone, and they're on the man advantage. Jamie, but now we have another penalty to Massena.
So watch it once again. This one incurred this time in back of the net, and
cross-checking.
Looks
Mike
like
LaPointe. So Suffern now have a two-man advantage. Down to 1:31 in our hockey game. And they've got a chance here, but they'll have to show more offensively than they've shown in this hockey game.
13:29 the time of the penalty, Chip. 1:15 remaining. If Suffern is going to get something going, now's the time, I think.
RC Like moving in over the line. A Red Raiders. Ooh. PJ Rochford knocked down Like. Red Raiders with a penalty killing unit here of Spanberg out there with Dion and Rochford. Red Raiders looking to advance into the finals tomorrow afternoon. And they are in good position right now. We are under a minute to play in this hockey game. Red Raiders have done a good job defensively here this evening. Now at center ice, the Red Raiders with a possible 2-on-1 and a pass intended for Spanberg, a little bit out of reach. Suffern now with a 2-on-1 of their own. Cone along with Sullivan. This is Sullivan with a shot. White the save and the rebound. Sullivan was knocked into the net, and we have a penalty coming up to Massena.
Well, they just were able to get another man back onto the ice, and once again, they're going to be two men short, but there's 27 seconds remaining. Here it is once again on the break right here, and from behind. Oh, my. Just an awful smash into the goal there. What a save by White, though. He juggled it for a minute, and it took a little hip hop right there and came down, and then they ran into the net and knocked it off its moorings, and boy, that puck was all alone out there.
There you see that there's an empty net as Suffern have pulled their goaltender with just 24 seconds remaining. And the Red Raiders now basically, and now we have a penalty coming up to Suffern.
Well, Suffern trying to avoid the empty net goal right there, basically. And
they had 6 skaters to 3, Jamie, but the puck rolled out of the Red Raider zone, and a Suffern player held up a Red Raider with his stick, and he goes to the penalty box. So now Suffern are only one man, have only a one-man advantage.
The face-off will be in the Suffern end, too, besides.
Spanberg wins the draw, and the puck moves out to center. Kerwin sends it right back in. Just 12 seconds left in our hockey game. And the Massena Central Red Raiders are going to advance into the finals of their invitational tournament here tomorrow afternoon as they will take on St. Joe's. And there's the buzzer to end this hockey game. And the Massena Central Red Raiders are victorious. There you see our score in the Club 37 sports scoreboard. 3-1, Massena over Suffern. And that will do it for our telecast here this evening, as the Red Raiders will play St. Joseph's in the finals tomorrow afternoon. For my colleague Jamie Davis and our entire Edwards Productions sports broadcast crew, I'm Chip Chapman, bidding you a very pleasant good night, and we'll see you tomorrow afternoon.